Hi, I'm Christophe Langlois, and you're on Visible Banking. I'd like to talk about Facebook. I've been covering social media in financial services for over 4 years now, yeah? So imagine that conversations have changed in substance from back in February 2007 and now so in fall 2011. Now the level of appetite, of willingness to do something on Facebook and Twitter is there. It's huge. And financial services firms are expecting ROI, but they don't know exactly how to interact with people there. Yeah? They don't necessarily know where to start. Okay, and there's two things I hear all the time. So ROI, and it makes me smile when I see all those consultants or agencies online trying to assess and quantify how much a like or a fan is worth on Facebook. It makes me smile because it's vastly dependent on how you attracted those fans, those likes, how you gain them. Did you give away cinema tickets? Okay, tickets to attend a sports event, or did you build it actually to make sure you would attract your customers or people who are interested in your brand? So it's all about brand intimacy there, and the mechanism is fundamental, right? And that will impact your ability to communicate with your audience on Facebook. That will impact your content strategy, your reward strategy, and eventually your ability as a brand to convert those people back to your organization and drive business. Okay, so that's ROI. But then the other one is risk. Still now, corporate affairs professionals, risk compliance professionals see social media as a risk. There's two things, right? There's people expressing themselves online. It's all about online reputation monitoring, outreach strategy, not on your own assets, okay? And there's social media, and there's your own social media assets. On your assets, there's ways to minimize the risk. But at the same time, you want to encourage discussions, conversations. You want to urge people to come to you and to share their thoughts, their ideas, their suggestions. Don't you? So Visible Banking, we're tracking how financial institutions worldwide are leveraging Facebook. Since March 2009, we're tracking now more than 1,000 pages and applications in 75 countries. Let's talk about the pages here. One key stat, and I think it's fascinating, okay? 67% of all the pages we're tracking have an open wall. So open wall meaning that anyone who likes the page can go on the wall and write something on the wall. We're not talking responding to an existing wall post where we're talking saying anything basically, which is great. It's a way to again drive activity and engage with your fan base. But at the same time, you need to make sure you have implemented the right processes in place to minimize the level of risk. Again, the value is great engagement mechanism, but you need to make sure to do the minimum to reduce the amount of risk. So let's see actually how financial institutions are doing that. One of the best examples to me in terms of interacting on your wall is from Absa Bank, so part of Barclays Bank. This is in South Africa, yeah. And you see here, their wall basically is kind of dedicated to customer support, yeah. The wall of the official page is fascinating. And you see this is the about description of the page, and they make it very clear, okay? This is what we do. Please interact with us, and this is what we do, and we're here to respond to you. You see that the permanence here is between 8 and 5 on weekdays. So one of the key questions is, what are we going to do if there's a very abusive, very important comment, user comments, customer comments on the page outside those opening hours? And this is a key question. So you need to think about that before you go that route. But if you go that route, you need, of course, to make sure you minimize the level of risk, okay? And see here, so we're tracking more than 800 pages, and those pages, it's the top 20 of the pages with open wall, right? And quite a few of the, top 40 pages have an open wall, so strangely enough, yeah? So you see in the US, but not only in the US, not just insurance, but banking, credit card as well. Again, the value is tremendous, providing you've got the right moderation process in place and you display some clear guidelines. This is critical. This is easy to do, yeah? You don't want abusive comments, okay? You want to be able to get rid of them. But sometimes you want to let people have a conversation. What the beauty of social media and what we see on Facebook, for instance, is that the community auto-regulates itself, yeah? And you see angry customers saying something which usually is not really right, and you see some happy customers, or fair customers at least, who basically are happy to jump in the conversation and defend your brand. Another key topic, you don't have to respond to everything, okay? You give them airtime. This is, the first step towards transparency. And I invite you to check my video interview of First Direct's new CEO, Mark Merlin, who had that kind of approach, and it's fascinating. So please check my blog for that. Let's see a few examples, very few. You see Absa Bank, so they've got a disclaimer, of course. It's a note on Facebook for information, not a tab. And you see a few other companies, Progressive. Keep it short and sweet, yeah? It's nice, it's short, it's straight to the point. Don't be abusive. Don't sell your products. It's very easy here. It's there, and you can click on terms and conditions here in the Progressive example, and that would redirect you to something more comprehensive. And you see here there's a tab on the left-hand side dedicated to, it's called House Rules there, dedicated to user guidelines, yeah? Same for other banks. Bank of Melbourne, I put it here because it's an interesting example. A few weeks ago, their Twitter account has been hacked, which is not a problem. It's how you respond to hacking on Twitter, which basically differentiate you and prove that you know what you're doing in social media. So Bank of Melbourne could have done slightly better, especially leveraging their Westpac affiliation there. But First Direct, they've been on Facebook for not so long, for a couple of months max. They've got some comprehensive here terms of use. So you see the difference within Progressive. Nice, clean, concise, and you can go a bit deeper in terms of explaining what is it that you expect. Why not? Bank of the West, part of BNP Paribas, is in the US, Commonwealth Bank, CBA in Australia. Again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? People, organizations have already posted those guidelines. So please reuse. There's nothing confidential here. There's no copyright. Use it, but do it now. I guarantee you that among those 67%, so more than 500 pages roughly, 450, very few have clear user guidelines on their social media, and here their Facebook page. And here you see that I posted something like months ago, a blog post, where I decided to list every single user guidelines I could find on Facebook, Twitter, and social media in general. Okay, so Facebook, great opportunity. OpenWall, fantastic. You can create some great conversations there, but be ready. There's ways to minimize the risk. One, post and display clear user guidelines. B, have the right moderation processes in place, whereby someone who can on regular basis check your page. That was Christophe Langlois, Visible Banking, London, UK.